Hareya Namah Sri Madhwacharya Yatra Yogeshwar Krishno Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara Tatra Sri Vijayo Bhutir Dhruva Nitir Matir Mamaha. Hari Om. Welcome back. We are discussing about Geetha Bhashyam summary learnings, Prameya Deepika commentaries given by Sri Tikarayaruru, also known as Sri Jaitirtharu from Malkhed, and Sri Raghavendra Swami from Mantralaya. Before we begin our second chapter, let us quickly recap the first chapter. As you would have recollected that we are now all present in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, where on one side we have Kauravas and on the other side we have Pandavas. Now, Pitamaha Bhishma blew his conch in order to appease Duryodhana, and it roared like a lion, while other Kauravas also followed with their conches, bugles and trumpets. In a fitting response, Pandavas over there also blew their conches. Paramatma Krishna blew his conch Panchajanya. This Panchajanya has a history to it. Panchajanya was a Rakshasa, and Lord Krishna killed the Rakshasa and thereby made a conch out of Panchajanya. This was then followed by Yudhishthira, who blew his conch named as Ananta Vijaya. Bhima blew Poundra. Arjuna used Devadatta to raise the pitch of war cries. Nakula and Sahadeva used their conches Sughosha and Manipushpaka respectively. The kind of awesome sound that got created and a powerful message was given to Kauravas that they are here to really face defeat ahead of them. At this point of time, Arjuna requested Paramatma, Sri Krishna, and he said that, look, how can I shoot fatal arrows at Dronacharya and Bhishmacharya, who have nurtured me from childhood and whom I hold in high regard. So there was an emotional feeling which swept Arjuna away, and there he felt that he was not doing the right thing, and his bow and arrow were slipping from his hands. He was not able to overcome this emotional trauma and thereby went towards Krishna and requested him, saying that I am in a state of panic and I am surrendering to you to guide me the best course of action for myself. This implies to us also in many ways in our own lives, where at several points of time we do go through these kind of situations emotionally, and hence it is very important for us to have a guru in our life. Who is a guru? Guru could be anyone. It could be your father, it could be your mother, it could be any other person who is known to you, who can become your guru and who can guide you properly on the right path of consciousness and doing the right karma with jnana and most importantly bhakti. Therefore, Arjuna knew very well that Lord Krishna, the Supreme God himself, is the best guru, and he reached out to him and requested to guide him. Lord Krishna, Arjuna understood, and O Arjuna, you are showering sympathies on those who don't deserve even a bit. So Lord Krishna started his narration of trying to explain Arjuna why he should not be so much into emotional attachment. He reminded him that he is a learned scholar, and the wise people, the people who apply their mind won't mourn those who are hale and healthy, and those won't grieve even if a person is dead. This is the definition of wise people, and all this is what we should all aim at. And therefore once again inquired, what is the reason for your grief? And then further responded by saying that it is the primary reason why Arjuna is getting aggrieved is the fear of Bhishmacharya, Dronacharya, etc. will be decimated in the war, that their soul is going to be annihilated. Now this is a very important concept. The soul is referred to as Jiva in our Shastras, or the body is going to be engulfed by fire. At this point of time, Paramatma reminds Arjuna that the soul can't be destroyed. That means the Jiva is from Anadikal to Anantakal. It cannot be destroyed. It can neither be created nor be destroyed, just as Paramatma. So since the time beginning, Paramatma, the Jiva also has existed. But there is one big difference that we should remember, that all these Jivas are under the Paramatma. That's the fundamental truth about all souls, be it a divine soul or an ordinary one. Now moving further, he wanted to explain that how the journey of the soul moves on. So the body, the human being experiences various phases, namely infancy, childhood, adolescence, youth, middle age, and the old age. So these phases are neither for the body nor for the mind, which means that the jiva passes through each of these phases, and every time we are letting go of one phase and then entering into the new phase. So when we are doing this naturally, then why should we mourn the loss of an old and decaying body when they are going to get a new, young and energetic body? This is the way Krishna put forth that how jiva is eternal and why Arjuna should not lament. This is like a person shedding old worn out clothes to wear a new one. A person would definitely assume a new life after the current life till we attain moksha. Moksha is nothing but called as salvation or liberation. And this is the only thing that we all should be working for or understanding and living for, to attain moksha at the lotus feet of Paramatma. Lord Krishna further continued saying that you may feel dejected as you may lose the interactions with Bhishmacharya, Dronacharya, at the very thought of eliminating them during the war. This thinking is not proper. A person will not be either happy nor be sad just because he is involved in something, but he will either be happy or sad only if he connects himself with it and assumes its ownership. This is a very fundamental philosophy that we need to understand, that whatever we go through happens only if we connect ourselves with it and assume ownership. Just to elaborate further with an example, when a person is fast asleep, he won't react joyously even if adorned with a beautiful garment, nor will he scream in panic even if King Cobra passes by him. He would have surely reacted to these happenings if he was awake. This explains to us that we need to set aside the attachment and focus on our task in hand and the goal that we have to achieve on the right conscious path of dharma. Then he also further went on to explain that you may argue it is better to give up the war than not be fond of the dearer ones and then fight it out. Even that is not correct, because evading your responsibilities of fighting the enemies, you may postpone your end but can't escape from its clutches. This is again a very significant concept, because on one practical point of view we say there are people who like us, people who hate us. But in reality, there are certain qualities within us which we can call as enemies also. For example, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. So if, for example, anger is there, if we are not learning to control the anger, then we cannot escape from its clutches and we will face repercussions over a longer period of time. And hence, if we don't practice disaffection, we would suffer, and as and when your near one and dear ones travel to heaven. Most importantly, the benefit of saying goodbye to being affectionate is sure a giant leap in attaining the salvation, moksha. So this is what we have discussed briefly about in the second chapter, and there is much more to be covered in the second chapter. We will be releasing the version 2 also with this, so that we are able to connect more details over here. Ahead we will be discussing about Panchabheda and how Jiva, Paramatma and Jada, how are they connected and the interconnectedness between them and what difference does it make. Thank you very much. Hareya Namah, Shri Krishnarpanamastu.